Today we're going to do some alcohol blending and show you guys that technique. Do make sure that when you do this, I'm going to hold the bottle up now because I don't want to tip the bottle over. I mean, not that I'm going to, wind up getting it anywhere because it isn't a great big bottle. And let me fill my little cup here while I have this bottle. So when you use your isopropyl or however that word is said, when you go to use that alcohol, when you want to make sure that it is higher percentage wise, we found the 91%, and this was at CVS. I know Walgreens, I think Walmart has the higher percentage one. I think your normal one that you're gonna buy at most grocery stores and stuff, I think it is only 70 something percent. You want to make sure that you have the higher percentage when you go to use this with your alcohol pens. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a technique that is using our alcohol blender pens. And this is a really neat technique. It has been really kind of something that is really popular right now and a lot of people have been using. So we are going to get started with that in just a minute. But those of you who are new to watching me, my name is Danny Garola and I am with Stampin' the Pink Barn. All the dimensions, ingredients, recipes, all that kind of stuff for the cards that we make today will be over on my blog tomorrow at stampinthepinkbarn.blogspot.com. It normally happens later in the afternoon because it takes me a while to get pictures done, especially uploading this video to YouTube for some reason. Maybe it's because I don't have the greatest. Ooh, is my camera dirty? Hold on, guys. It seems like that was really kind of, there we go. It takes me some time to get this uploaded on YouTube, which then I can put on my blog. So just know that. Also, to win some of the cards that I make today, just like my video, this particular Facebook Live video, leave a comment, which a lot of you guys have been doing, and share. You never know who's going to be on your news feed and wants to watch some of these new techniques that I'm showing today, or just learn how to make cards, or maybe they're looking for a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I would love to be their demonstrator. Also, the other thing is June, we have a new host code for this month. If your order is under $150, please use my host code. I would love that. I will be sending out a free handmade gift with that. If you place an order using my host code. If your order is over $150, please do not use this. Stampin' Up! Is going to give you some rewards and I want you to have those. So the incentive gift for the month of June is for anybody who spends over $75 in product. So that is excluding shipping and tax. I am going to send you one of these handmade. It is a notebook holder. So it will come with a notebook. It has a little pocket here. This won't be here. That's to just show you that this is a functional pocket. I will typically put a handmade card in this pocket though for you. So just know that there could be a card in there. And it has some Velcro on the end. I decided to use clear Velcro so it doesn't take away from this beautiful image on the front of that DSP paper. So that just sticks right down like that. Subject to change for your colors and stuff. I can't guarantee that everybody will get this same color and paper, but I will try to stick with the hand penned just because it is beautiful DSP and I love the colors, but some of them are more purple colored, some of them are more pink, so I can't guarantee that it's always going to be on cinnamon cider, just to let you know that. All right, so let's get started with this. So there's a couple different techniques on how to do this. I'm going to show you a couple just so you can see and play around for yourself. And if you do make any cards using this technique, I would love it if you could take a photo of it and put it over on our Pink Barn Stampers group. Let's move this out of the way. So other people can see what you've created, and you know, it's always fun to share your creations and let other people kind of, you know, learn from you as well. Some people are very intimidated and don't want to add things to social media and that kind of stuff because they are kind of afraid of other people saying negativity things, and I don't deal with negativity. We're all here to do the same thing and create beautiful things, and just because of what you think is not beautiful is somebody else's creations, don't be mean. Just saying. I mean, there's no need for that. All right, so our first technique that we're going to do is made with, actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that one first. I fibbed. We're going to do, now I have some pieces cut out here. We're going to do just this is our basic white cardstock. As you can see, I've been playing. Do you see the ink that I have in my hands? We are going to use Misty Moonlight. So one of the things that I do want to tell you is you're going to want to use bright colors, and you're always going to want to use the dark. So I know this is not a bright color, but this is going to be kind of my tone that tones down the bright colors. I'm also going to be using dark Magenta Madness for this one. And I'm going to use some mint macaroon. Now this is dark mint macaroon. All right, so you're also going to need a piece of acetate. Okay, so acetate comes in our, let me see if I have one sitting up here. In our new stamp sets, okay, that's not gonna work. That's not what I'm looking for. Any of our stamp sets that are the photopolymer, okay, here's one for instance. Your photopolymer comes on 2 sheets. One will be this thicker sheet that everything's going to be stuck to, and then you're going to have this thinner sheet that is just going to be on the back side, the upside down side, to keep your stamps protected. Now, what I like to do, because Stampin' Up! Has now changed the inside of our cases, that you can see the images on the back side here, I take my stamps off of the thick sheet, flip them upside down, so the back side, the side that you're going to adhesive, or not adhesive, but you're going to stick to your blocks, they are now protected and stuck down on my actual case. If you can see that, they're all, oops, well, see how I need to clean the back of that one. It's not very sticky anymore, but that's why you stick those down on there so they don't get anything stuck to them. Obviously that one needs to be a little cleaned so it's lost its gumminess. It just protects them, especially me here who lives in Tucson, Arizona. There's a lot of dust. I have pets. Hair likes to stick to these, so that's why I make sure that the thin piece I still put back on top of here, because there's nothing like going to stamp an image and you see this big long strand of hair in it, and it happens to the best of us, don't get me wrong. So that you kind of keep it less from happening, just put this clear sheet over the top of that, and then when you need to use a stamp, just pull it back and pull your stamp off there and it's good to go. All right, so what I was getting at with that is use the thick piece of, or we sell these also if you don't have any stamp sets like this. They're called clear window sheets in the Stampin' Up! Store, but just use the one out of your case. Kind of repurpose, reuse. You guys all know how I am. If I can save myself a cent, I'm gonna do it. All right, you're also gonna need some of our water painters. I have 2 different ones here. As you can see from playing earlier and the pink on my hand, pink has now transferred up into this. It is not going to hurt a thing because I'm still using some pinks, so you're really not going to see it. But if you're going to now go to, let's say you're going to do some yellows and some blues or, you know, reds or something, you're going to probably want to maybe not reds because you're not going to see it, but you know what I'm saying, greens, yellows, anything that is a definitely different color than the red, you're going to probably want to dump this out and put new alcohol in there, but I'm not too worried about it. I also have a little bowl that I poured alcohol into because I find with this technique you use a lot of alcohol, and I wind up using more than what this can hold. So if I run out of this, I can always just dip it in there and move it onto my piece of acetate. So you can see that this has been used. It's not going to hurt a thing at all. This is a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to just take our ink and we're just going to ink this thing up. Okay, I know it makes a really funky sound. Now this one you're not going to see that well, and make sure you're using the painted tip, not the nibbed end when you're doing this. I'm sorry, I know that's a horrendous sound. And I really kind of screwed that up because I didn't do it the way I should have. I should have put pink over here. Oh well, no biggie. Maybe I'll just come in with a little bit more blue. All right. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to keep our piece right here and grab our, and I'm using the big wide one and the bigger, there's 3 that come in the set. I'm not using the really small one for this. I'm using the 2 bigger ones. If I can get the lid off this, see how it's a little bit bigger? Okay. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to like squeeze the alcohol and then kind of just dab this on here. Now you want to do a dabbing motion with your alcohol. Now it's okay that it's going to go into other colors because that's kind of the whole point of what we're doing here. Am I in frame or did I move? And you can always wipe your painter off if you're getting too many other colors that you don't want. So we're not going to see too much of that mint macaron, so that's okay. All right, then while that is wet, you're going to just set your paper right down on it and let it just kind of spread on your paper. And that color will transfer onto your fingers and onto anything else, so make sure your surface is covered. Make sure you have a fan or a well-ventilated area because it does get very stinky, because we all know rubbing alcohol is not the best smelling stuff. Now, say you want a little bit more color in there. I'm just going to clean this off a minute. So I just take a little bit more alcohol and I just rub it around, and that's how I clean that off. And then I grab a baby wipe. And just wipe that, just like that. And you're gonna have some color on there, but that is perfectly okay because that's the technique that we're going for. All right. So say you want to have a little bit more color in here, and we know over here I would like to have a little bit more, and this is going to change as it dries. It's going to kind of fan out a little bit. I'm going to come back in with that Misty Moonlight because I want a little bit more blue up over in here. And now I'm going to take this and just dab it around. Make it good and wet and soupy, okay? And then take this and just put it where I want more color to transfer. And then just keep kind of squeezing out, am I in frame with this thing? Just keep kind of squeezing out your alcohol to keep cleaning that brush off. And when it starts being clear, then you know that it might stain your brush, but that's okay. That's what these brushes are for. But just keep rubbing and squeezing it until you get where the color runs clear out of your brush. So when we go to do our next card, so there we go. So I can keep doing this as many times as I want and flipping this over and adding more color to it, but I'm okay with this. I'm not trying to go, you know, too crazy with it, but let me clean this off just a little bit. And it is alcohol, so it is going to dry quick. That's why I try to put a lot of alcohol on there, so then when I do go to clean it, there will be alcohol on the end of my baby wipe, so it kind of just cleans it as I'm, you know, rubbing this around. So that's one technique of using it on a piece of acetate, where you just flip your card over into it. Now, let's make a card really quick with this so I can show you kind of how this works. Now, one thing to know is you're going to want to kind of push that brush together when you go to put it in there, so you don't wind up getting some of them caught flipping backwards, and then it destroys your brush head on that. All right, let me get this out of the way because we're done with that. Now, with this one, we are going to use a plain piece of cardstock. So I'm going to use white. This is our basic white thick cardstock. And then I'm going to grab a piece of Magenta Madness. Maybe I have a piece already cut down here. I do. Oh, so let me show you something. Okay, I'm going to show you this just because, again, I am going to now take this piece and mat it on something that I have already cut pieces out of, because there is nothing wrong with using this piece of paper just because it has had cut images out of it. We can still use this as a mat and not have to worry about anybody seeing anything that was in the back of that. All right, but I'm going to cut on the other edges that I know that have more play on them, because I don't have much play up here to cut those, because I still want to keep those where we're not having holes in the side of our stuff. So then we're going to cut this at 4. Okay, so that means I'm going to cut this one down. I left it at the 4 by 5 1/4 because that gives me a bigger area to play on, and then I can cut it down as I wish. So I'm going to go to 3 3/4 on this. And then I'm going to cut off this end down here, and then I'm going to go to 5. All right, now watch what we do. Look, that covers right over that, and you never would know that there were cut pieces out of the back of that. All right, I also took some of our butterflies from, and I already pre-cut these, so because I have a couple of cards to show you with this, I didn't want to sit here and die cut all these things and take up all of our time. So I came in with the big butterfly, with the small butterfly, and then I think I came in with this one. So let me show you. I cut those out of gold, and I will have to take the pieces out. I just went ahead and cut them. So let me show you another one that I did using this technique. I didn't make a card, but I went ahead and used this. I used Flirty Flamingo, and I used Mint Macaroon, and I used the Misty. So see the difference in that? I watered this down, or I alcohol inked this more, so it gave it a much more liquidy look, I guess you would say, versus the splotchy of this. I also have my fan going, and it kind of dries the alcohol ink pretty quick, so I think that's probably why this is more blotchy. But the Magenta Madness is a much brighter pink color than this Flirty Flamingo. And, you know, I honestly think I kind of like this one better, but you cannot go wrong with this technique. No matter what colors you come up with, they're going to look beautiful. Well, I guess not every one is going to be beautiful, because I'm sure there's probably some colors that just do not look good together, and that's okay. That's why we're here to experiment and play. All right, let me take this out of here, because we're going to need to use our, I finally got it. Look, I kept thinking I ordered this darn thing, and every order, I would get my shipment and it would never be in there. I don't know what the heck was wrong with me, why I thought I had it ordered, but I didn't. So see how nicely those little pieces come out of there? So look at this big one. And this is, these two of these come with this head right here. So I just lay this on here, and then I just rub my little take-a-pick brush. And all those pieces just come out of there so nicely. And then I'm not sitting here trying to pick every stinking little thing. Now you do gotta watch this, because I've missed ones because it all just kind of blends in together. Oh, see, like right there. I'm sure you guys were all yelling at me. Look at that great big piece. Yep. All right. I think those are all cleaned up. So what I do is I just leave that in there. I need to buy another one of these, so I just keep the whole thing in there so I don't have to keep taking time to do that. Okay. But I just keep that right underneath my desk, so when I need it. So I've cut the big one out. I've cut this one out right there, and then the little one right here. And I've done that in the gold foil. All right, now I'm going to take a sentiment. Let's see, what sentiment do we want? I think I like You Are So Special, but let's see how big. I originally came in with a circle this size, but that's gonna cut that awfully close, but it might work. Let's try it. So I'm gonna grab my Magenta Madness ink pad. And do you see that that Misty Moonlight almost changed kind of purple when it mixed with that Magenta Madness? And this stuff makes you a hot mess. Just know that. The best way to get that off is by using it's called lava soap. I'm sure you've all heard of it because it's been around for like 150 years. Maybe longer. I don't know. Just kidding. Lava soap. I know mechanics and all those kind of guys like swear by the lava soap, but I just get it at Walmart. Okay, this might be way too big. I think it's gonna work. We will see in just a minute. All right, so we're gonna figure out, I'm not quite certain what butterflies we want on here, but we're gonna put this on here. Just grab some glue. Now I'm going to put glue around this because I don't want to, and I know that there's going to be a little bit of an edge, so I'm leaving some space. But it's better if I glue this than trying to put glue on there and have a hot seeping mess come out the back of those, because God only knows that would be my MO. So it's really fun to play with these colors. That's why, again, why I had so much ink all over myself, because I was playing with different variations of these colors to see what I really liked on that card. Okay, so again, you don't, I mean, you know, because you're seeing it, but whoever I was to give this to would not know that that was there unless I disclosed that. All right, so I think we can either take like this small one and kind of add it up here, and then maybe take the big one, move this up a little bit and go like that, or maybe just take this one down here. Oh. Okay, maybe just like that. All right, and then of course we need, and we can always use those on another card. I have this, I gotta wipe some of this off, because now that I know that I'm gonna touch white cardstock, God only knows I will get it everywhere. All right, let's move this up here just a hair. Now we're going to take this and put it on dimensionals. Okay, like that. And then I'm gonna pull these wings up so it looks like this guy is kind of in flight. And then I'm gonna put that kind of right there, but on this little piece here, I think one of these mini dimensionals will fit perfect. And then put a little bit of glue on the bottom part. To get that to stick to my card. Just like that. Now let's attach that to our card base. This would be cute for like a little girl for her birthday, or even like birthday invites. You could do some "You're invited" on this and send these out for like a little girl's birthday. I mean, butterflies don't only have to be for little girls, but I'm just saying, I think it'd be cute for a birthday invite or a little girl's birthday card. All right, so there's that. And of course we need a couple of little blings, because what card is complete without some bling? All right, so I'm gonna grab the medium size one here, maybe. Ooh, that thing is really stuck down there. And we're gonna put that kind of right there. Let me fix the gooey on the end of that. Grab another one. Kind of put it up there, and then grab a small one and kind of put it maybe right up there. All right, there we go. So kind of simple, Very easy. You could do this in so many variants of colors and get such a cute, and you're going to get a different pattern every single time you do it. Okay, so there's our first card. Now let me show you the second one. Now this one's going to be kind of more on the masculine side, I guess you would say. All right, so we're going to get rid of the butterflies. Let's move those down there. I think we're done with the circles also. Let me grab, okay. So we're going to be using the Sailing Home set. You're going to see me use this coming up more also with some masculine cards, because I think that's a great set for that. All right, let's get this cleaned off. I will wind up sticking my hand in it, because you all know how I am. All right, so let's get our window sheet. Let me get some of this off of here. Let me see if I can get a little bit more off. And you know what? Maybe that's on the other side. It is. It was on the back side. No wonder why I couldn't get it off of there. Okay. There we are. Nice and clean. Well, besides this spot right here. There we go. All right. Now, let's let that dry a minute. Ouch. I just clawed myself. Okay. We are going to set that there, and let me grab my little pieces really quick that we're going to need. Where is my... Okay, we're going to use... this is Night of Navy, and we're going to use Old Olive, Dark Old Navy, and Dark Soft Suede. All right. Patty, you know what? It is all right to be late. You don't have to apologize to me. Okay. So now we're going to take this and just kind of smear this on here and maybe some up here. Then take this one and do it. Oh, if I do that there, do I do blue there? No, blue there, blue there. Okay, that'll work. Gotta make sure I get all the colors on here. Now see, I took some of that blue down in there just to kind of break up these two because they kind of have a similar tone. So now I'm going to come in here and grab this color. Dab, dab, dab. Dab, 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 dab. Okay, just like that. So let me grab a piece of that white before that dries. Ah. All right, now look at those colors, how well that works together. Okay. So, do you see the difference? Now, that's going to dry. Another thing we can do, let me get some of the color out of this. Actually, I'm going to use this one. I know it's got some of the pinks in there, but you're not going to see that color. Okay, maybe you will. So now if I take this and just kind of tap, this is where you want to be very careful with your you know, everything that you have around, because you're going to get, you know, it's splattering in my little sign thing up there, but you know, that's part of crafting. And then you can get real crazy and get a big dot on there, and then it spreads even more. So I mean, you can go crazy with this, and you can play, and you can have a good old time, and then you can wiggle this around a little bit and kind of make them kind of more runnier if you don't like that, you know, solid drop look. Or take a straw even. I've seen a lot of people doing that, where they take a straw and they blow this, and it makes this really neat because it like sprays out. I don't think mine's wet enough at the moment, but you know where I'm going with that. I think we all had done that in school, where we would drop paint on the water paint and then spread it. You know what I'm saying. I don't have to draw a picture. You get what I'm saying here, right? All right. Then I'm going to take a piece of Night of Navy, and this is going to be our background. So give that a second to dry. And then I'm going to show you guys really quick, while that is drying, I'm going to bring in another one and do it while that is drying, and then we'll put that card together while this one's drying. Okay, now on vellum, this is where you're going to come in with our vellum paper. I don't know if it's paper, but yeah, vellum. And I'm using our new in colors. I'm using our pale papaya, dark pale papaya, and dark polished pink for this one. Okay. Yeah, and I made a mess. Okay, this one, I just kind of come in here and just kind of start going, you know, crazy. Now this one, you're not going to stick another sheet on top of it. This is going to be your sheet that you use. Now, since I just kind of realized that I wasn't paying attention, you're gonna wanna do your lighter color first, just in case your nib touches into the other color. You're now not gonna have red pink on your nib when you go to color next time. I'm just gonna be really careful and try not to touch that pink all that much. But you normally always wanna start with your lightest color first. So learn from my mistakes. If you learn anything, learn from my mistakes. think that one's a little bit distracting when it's got other colors underneath it. Okay. And now I can just touch back up. I mean, not that you have to do this because your color is going to spread anyways, but just to show you what you would normally do is you would come in with this color after. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, now you're gonna come in with this and you're gonna tap, 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 tap. Don't smear because it gives you a really weird, I mean, you do what you wanna do, play around with it and you'll see what you like and what you don't like. I don't want to be that person that's like, don't do this. No, you do what you want to do, but just telling you, it gives it a completely different look if you smear. All right, now on this, see how it's kind of pooling down here at the end? I just like to kind of tap it really quick. So, and yeah, it's gonna make some things run, but that's okay because you don't want it. And then I just try to hold the sides down because it's gonna wanna curl. And these little lines right here, these like veiny looking lines, I love that look, and I'm gonna show you what we're gonna actually do with that vein in just a minute because we gotta let this dry. Now this will curl, and that's just something that's gonna happen. It's inevitable. It's gonna curl up, but we're gonna try to avoid that as much as possible. All right, I'm gonna let that kind of sit and come back in with our other paper. Let's see what size this is. I gotta remember what I cut this one down to. My Night of Navy is at a 4 by 5 1/4. So that means this piece here that we just got done doing, I wanna cut that at 4 3/4. Now I'm going to take 1/8 of an inch off of each side just to make it kind of even where that white space is. So that's why you just saw me flip that around. And on the ends, I'm going to do it on this end, is I'm going to take that down to 5. Because that one had more white, you know, space on it, that I'm okay with that. All right, now that is going to get matted on our, now do you see how that almost looks like it's been put in a magnifying glass and now it's like a little bit, I don't know what that is considered, but I think it looks like somebody's take some drops and put it in a microscope and then it's popped it up. All right, I'm gonna let that dry there while I set this here and try not to destroy it. All right, so let's move this card over there so I can get my pieces. Okay, I had my pieces. Now, where did I put them? Oh, there they are. Okay. So I've already stamped this and everything because, like I said, I didn't want to do the die cutting and all that. Well, I'm trying to show this technique, not necessarily you guys know how to stamp and die cut. Okay, let's get this piece adhered. The other neat set to use with this technique is the set called Whale of a Time, or Whale. Yeah, Whale of a Time, I believe is what it's called. It's that one that you can buy the the whale punch. This one right here, the whale builder, along with the whale. Oh my goodness. It's been a while since I've used that set. Where is my catalog? There it is. I think it's called Whale of a Time. But this is a really neat look with that. It's called Whale Done. That's what it's called. And it's on page 83. Right down there. You can stamp these jellyfish and the turtle and everything on this. Do this in some Bermuda Bay along with some Granny Apple Green, and it would be so stunning with that seaweed and that coral and everything. Oh, I have something that's gonna fall. Ah. Hold on. There we go. I got things falling over here. All right, now that that thing is done, I'm going to set my alcohol bottle on that to try to keep it from curling as much as possible, because we want to do some stuff with that. All right, on with what's going on here. So I'm just going to take this and pop this up on dimensionals. So this is the one that I've used, the Sailing Home. So I've used this ship right here. I have the coordinating dies that go with it. So this anchor cuts out the anchor here. You've got this really neat like label die, and this really neat, it looks like a banner. It works really well with the thanks and the congrats. This cuts out your big ship. It's really neat because it also cuts out the in-between where the, I know that's a sail, but that big string that goes down, or rope, it kind of leaves an open spot in between there. I like that. And then you have this right here, which is the steering wheel. I don't know what the technical name of it is, but that cuts right out of there. You have a piece that looks like a rope. This long piece also looks like a neat rope. This cuts out your smaller ship. That one cuts out your bigger ship. Then you've got this compass and then the little spinners that actually really spin if you use a brad in it. You have some seaweed looking die here as well that's really kind of cool. And then you have your big lighthouse and some birds. I think we're going to actually use the birds. So let me get those out of there. Okay, so where did my dimensionals go? Forever losing dimensionals. I gotta take this one off and move it over just a hair because I want that to touch on that. Okay, like that. And then this one, we're going to just glue right down on the bottom. If you have brads, the ones that you poke through and then you open the back of them up, those look really neat in this little center part too. Here, look, I'll show you. I have a brad. These are old to Stampin' Up, but those are what brads are. You just put it in there, open up the back end. I'm not going to do it on that because I'm putting it straight down and it will leave a bump in the middle. So that works really good to put brads in there if you're going to put this up on dimensionals. And I'm just going to slide that piece up underneath there. And then, do we want some birds? Do we need a bird? Kind of like the bird. All right, I'm going to take our... So I had to order a new Stays On pad because my Stays On pad for some reason is super gross and sticky. I don't know if the ink, because I've had it for, let's just say, quite a few years. So I think maybe it has just seen better days, and I think the ink might have just started going bad on it. So I placed an order today and ordered myself a new StazOn pad along with a refill for it, because I think that's the problem, is this refill that I've had for this StazOn is honestly, it doesn't even have a date on it, but it is so old that I think from like the moves, the moves that we've been through and the heat and all that has just made it really gross and sticky. It doesn't feel like it's clumped up in there. It still feels really liquidy, but I don't know. So you know what? I'm just gonna buy a new one. Do we need another set of words up there? Maybe. There we go. Yes, I like the birds. Okay, so this is also going to go onto a white cardstock, thick cardstock. So let me score this really quick because I scored the first one, but not the second one. Okay, and that's just gonna go on there just like that. So very simple cards, but once you add, you know, that background to it, it just adds such a different dimension to your card where, you know, simple but gorgeous. Oh shoot, I forgot to do winner winner chicken dinner. You guys didn't yell at me. I'm so surprised. So the winner of the cards from last week, we made all those masculine cards. That just reminded me of that. We made our tuxedo from Bond, Mr. James Bond. This is a Father's Day card. Melanie Foy, you are the winner of our cards for last week, video number 42. If you let me know which one of these you want. Now this one is a birthday card. That's the more, I think it's more lumberjack-ish. There's that one. And then you've got that business suit. That is the one that pulls out of here like this and then opens up. That's the one that I had a heck of a time trying to get that stamp straight. So that's, again, another Father's Day card. So Melanie, you let me know which one of those you want. And then there's the matching envelope for that. All right. Okay, so there's our man card using that same technique. All right, now let's move on to this piece right here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, you know how I told you these veiny things are here? I'm gonna take this glue and I'm just gonna kind of smear it on those veins. Now, I know you're being like, you're saying, what the heck is she doing? And why is she putting glue on that? Well, you just wait and see. And then anywhere I see like the color separating, or even not, I can just run glue any way I like it. Okay, I'm not gonna go super crazy, but I'm just gonna let that sit for just a few seconds because I want that glue to get to the point where it has turned clear. Now saying that, you guys might know where I'm going with that. I'm just dabbing that glue so it kind of dries a little bit faster, so we're not sitting here all night long waiting for that to dry. And I know that looks kind of ugly doing that, but trust me, you're not going to see the glue at all. So just tap your glue down. All right, I'm gonna bring this kind of down along here. All right, there we go. Now, let me clean this stamp off. I'm just gonna give that a couple of seconds to dry. Where did I put my chamois? Okay, here's my chamois. Clean my birds off. All right, and let me get, while we're waiting for that glue to dry a minute, I gotta turn my fan off because otherwise we're gonna have a big mess here if I don't. So maybe that just told you guys what I'm doing. So I'm gonna take this, it is from our Scalloped Contours dies, and I know you guys probably are nuts by now seeing this because I use it so stinking much. Here's the stamp set, the color and contour. I really, really, really like this set. As if you didn't know that. All right, let me cut this out really quick because I'm kind of going with a different idea than what I originally had. Imagine that with me. I'm kind of like squirrel, but I think you're gonna like it, so give me 2 seconds. All right, so there is our scallop right there. And then put this guy away. Okay, we're going to need our gilded foil. This stuff right here, our gilded leafing is what it's called, not foil. And hold on, I need to take a drink. All right, we're using gilded leafing. I'm gonna move this out of the way because I just tapped it again and I don't wanna make a mess. But the way I use this stuff is I keep it in a separate little container. Let me move my lids. I use a separate container, and then I use I have a makeup brush that I just don't use for makeup anymore. And try to turn this where I'm not sticking my hands in any glue, and then just pushing. And the reason why I shut my fan off is because this stuff is so airy and light that it likes to take flight all over my house. And I did a card earlier with this stuff, and I walked into the bathroom and I had it all over my pants. I have some dark navy blue shorts on with some little white anchors on them. It was everywhere. I was like, I can't even see the anchors anymore. All I see is gold. I mean, it was pretty, don't get me wrong, but I was like, holy smokes. Okay, now I'm gonna turn it this way. Okay, and then once I get however much I want on there, and I just make sure I've got it over all of my sticky parts, my glue. Now, the other thing you can know is you can do this with your heat and stick on here, but I just don't know how you would get your heat and stick to go on these veiny parts like this, because your heat and stick needs to go on a Versamark, unless, oh yeah, that's right, I had this conversation with Miss Frida. Frida found a Versamark pin So you can use Versamark in a pen and write your veins on, like what I've done in the glue. Just use your Versamark pen. I don't remember where she found, I think we were looking to see which place had the best price, and I can't remember where she found it that was a better price, but we don't sell them through Stampin' Up. But you can get yourself a Versamark pen and draw these veins on. Frida, are you still on here? Maybe Frida can chime in and tell us where she got her Versamark pen from. And then you can rub your, or not rub, but you can dump some of that heat and stick powder on there, just like you would on a regular, oh, that piece is not wanting to come off. There's a big chunk, and it is being a bit fiddly. Okay, I'm done. All right, oof, now I've got that stuff flying everywhere. My lid, oh, there it is. Okay, I'm just gonna try to pick up some of these bigger chunks off of here. Not like this stuff will not last you for the rest of your life, because as you can see how much I have in there, I still have this whole jar packed to the top. You get so much of this, like they pack it in there. And this sometimes comes off in these great big sheets where you could just lay it on big glue bits. The other thing you can do with this stuff is use your Terran tape and make stripes of this stuff. It's really pretty because Terran tape is double-sided. So you just stick this right on your double-sided tape. Okay, I'm gonna move that out of the way. All right, now again, why I have glitter everywhere, all over my pants, because of doing that. But could you imagine if I had my fan on? Oh man, oh man. All right, so let me see what I want to do here. I kind of have an image of what I'm going off of that. Let me see if I put it on a piece of, okay, that you're not gonna see it at all. Now let's see if we were to put that on a piece of white, if that's gonna give us a better look, because we can still use that card. Oh yeah, okay, it needs to be on white. Okay, what size was this one? Was this my 4 by, okay, so I need to cut this down. So look how cool that is when you add those veins on there. Now wait until you see, I have to stamp, let me get this out of here. I gotta stamp that image on this. I'm gonna put it over here so I don't lose too much of that. Okay, so let me cut this down. Ah, where'd my trimmer go? Oh, there. I moved it on the other side of myself. So what did I say that was? Oh, 5 1/4 by 4. And vellum is not the easiest thing to cut, just FYI. Because it, like I said, it likes to curl, but we're gonna make it work. All right, I'm going to adhere this to my, I know we don't sell this one anymore, but my other one ran out of tape. And like I said, I just placed an order, so I'm waiting for that to come in. Because the other one that you guys are used to seeing me use is our Stampin' Seal, which is this one. As you can see, mine's empty, so I just ordered some refills for this. So this is my old Stampin' Up! One, but nonetheless. Okay. Now let me come in with this and stick this directly on my white piece. Now, since I cut this exactly the size of that white, I want to make sure that I get all my corners right. There we go, beautiful. All right, now I'm going to come in one more time with my stipple brush, or with my makeup brush, and just kind of apply a little bit harder pressure on there, now knowing that that is somewhat drier. There we go. And get all those bigger chunks off of there. Isn't that such a neat look with that gold on there? Okay, so I know you guys are going to be making these cards like crazy, so I really want you guys to take pictures of them and put them up on the Pink Barn Stampers, because that is too gorgeous to not put pictures of up on the page. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with this flower here. Okay, after I grab my big block. Nope, that's not going to work. Okay, I'm going to use Memento. Stay down. Up. So we were talking today, the gentleman that lives with us, it's his birthday today. We are going we were going into town to get his birthday gift. And as we were driving into town, I was telling my mom that I've been kind of like researching some stuff in San Diego since we're going to be heading to San Diego here in the next couple of weeks for kind of our vacation, our little mini vacation. So I was telling her, I was like, hey, so you know, I really want to take Caden to the, you know, I was kind of thinking SeaWorld, but SeaWorld I don't want to do again because it's kind of very ride-ish and she can't do rides. And rides are not our thing. And it's more of, they have a lot of shows that you go to, and doing shows is not Caden's thing either. She's not going to want to sit there and watch these shows. So I decided that, okay, I need to find some things to do while we're in San Diego that she would enjoy. Well, not that it's hot in San Diego. I mean, the hottest it's supposed to be is like 75 degrees or something. So that is like beautiful weather to us. We might actually be cold there. All right, so let's see. Do I want to do this in... where did my color go? Do I want to do this in Pale Papaya, which is this lighter color, or do I want to do it in Polished Pink? I actually think I like the Polished Pink because, of course, it's pink. Oh, there you go. $6.55 on Amazon. And that was for that Versamark pen. Hello, Jamie. So yeah, so I told her that I was looking up some aquariums and stuff like that, because then if it is kind of chilly, then Caden won't be cold. And then if it is, so when you go to stamp your petals, make sure you line this big, or this top part up, and then kind of center your little petals, because it is not meant to go exactly on to cover all your flower parts. It's just kind of a watercolor look. So you're gonna have white spots, and that is okay. You kind of want those white spots. So don't think that your stamp is damaged because you're getting white spots on there. If you don't like that, you could always take your aqua painter, not with alcohol in it, but with water in it, and kind of feather that out, because since this is water-based, you can then spread it inside of your black lines if you wish to do that, just to tell you. Okay, so what was I telling you guys? Oh, so I was looking at places in San Diego, things that we could do with her. And I remember as a kid, when we still lived over in California, we went to Scripps or something like, it's an aquarium that they have in San Diego. Well, I looked it up and I was thinking, oh, it's probably going to cost like $30, $40 a person, because that's pretty typical for, I'm scoring my card base here, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing. Because that's pretty typical when you go to like an aquarium or something like that. It's normally between $25 and $40 a person. And especially in San Diego, I would think it would be a little bit higher. But when I went online to look, it was like $19 for me. And then there was a student discount, which I think was made at $16. So Kaden can get in for $16. And then my mom, having her, being a senior citizen, she can get in at $16 also. So I was like, holy crap, that is like a really good deal for us, you know, to kind of go do. And that's something that would be indoors for Kaden, so the sun wouldn't bother her. If she did get cold, we would be indoors. So I think we might do that. Also, since we're going to be staying at the resort, it's kind of connected to Balboa Park. My mom really wants to go to the Japanese garden, so I think we're going to hit up the Japanese garden too. I think that'd be kind of fun for Kaden also. Okay, so what do you guys think of that? Or, yeah. No, because I think if I do this on pale papaya, I think it might not look good with that color flower. Let's try it though, because it doesn't hurt to just set it on a piece of pale papaya, if I can find it. Hey, Miss Melanie Foy, how are you? You are the winner of last week's cards. I showed them on here, so you'll have to go back and look and see which one you want. Oh, maybe I do like that, especially with the gold. What do you guys think? Do you like it on the polished pink, or do you like it on the... It almost brings out more of the pale papaya in that if I put it on the pale papaya. See how that brings out more of the pale papaya? Or if I put it on that one, it kind of brings in more of that pink. What do you guys think? Pale papaya or polished pink? Hi, Anna. I got your card the other day for Miss Kaden. Thank you so much for sending her a card. Okay, I think we have more papaya. Both are cool, but I like the papaya. Okay, we're doing papaya. All right. Okay, let me score this now. Yes, every day my mail lady calls me and she's like, hey, I've got a stack of cards down here for Kaden. So I'm so excited to be able to do her card opening, which it's going to be past her birthday, but that's okay. We're going to be busy during her birthday doing stuff. So we're going to take all the cards up. It's just sitting right in front of me. We're going to take all of her cards up to the hospital and open them up there. So that kind of gives her something kind of look forward to while she's laid up in one of them beds. Ugh. What do I want to do? I was thinking I kind of wanted to put a sentiment on there, or maybe a ribbon. I don't know. We're just gonna call this good for now and figure out what we're gonna do. Her birthday is on the 19th of June. But we are leaving on the 21st for vacation, which is fine because we're going to come back. We leave on Monday the 21st and we come back on Friday the 25th. And then we will spend the weekend down here at home. So that's when I will gather her cards and put them in her suitcase and all that. And then we have to be up at the hospital on the Monday the 28th. We have to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning, which is going to be crazy. So that means we have to leave here no later than like 5 o'clock in the morning. And get up there, and then we have to have her do a COVID test, which is so bizarre why they're making her be the only one that gets a COVID test, because we're going to be sitting in there for the week with her as well. But she's the only one that has to have a COVID test. A parent or guardian has to be with her at all times. So the thing is my mom's going to go with us. So I'm going to really wear my mom out, especially after going to San Diego for the week. Hi, Miss Kitty. Oh, hey, Grover. Oh my gosh, I have to show you guys something really quick that Kaden made for, I was telling you guys, that's what I was kind of going on, that it is Charlie, the older gentleman who lives with us. Look what we did for his birthday. We haven't given it to him yet because we're waiting for Andre to get home, because he was like, I want to wait. I want you to wait and give it to her when I get home. So we're waiting for him to come home from work to give Charlie his birthday present. But look at that. Is that not the cutest stinking thing ever? She did so good with holding her foot still and letting me get this image of her foot. And then I took some of our, I took a black Sharpie and I drew the wings in. And then I showed this a couple weeks ago. This is that shimmer effect. It's like it kind of leaves a clear glitter. So I took that with my finger and just rubbed it inside the wings. I know there's like a yellow tint to this, but that's because the first time I tried to do her footprint, I held this up and tried to get her foot, and her foot slid. So I had to clean it all off with a baby wipe and everything. So there's kind of a yellow tint, which I'm okay with because it doesn't look, you know, awful. And then the second time when I souped her foot up full of the yellow paint, I had her step down on this, and that worked a lot better because I could hold her leg more like steady. But yeah, happy birthday. Isn't that cute? And then we put some little googly eyes. She just thought that was the cutest thing ever, that was her foot and we made a bee. And I think he is going to love that. That's what because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to get Charlie for his birthday. And my husband, so yesterday I was like, oh my gosh, so when you're at work, I need you to think of something that we can get him for his birthday. Because whatever he wants, he just goes and, you know, gets himself, or he orders it or whatever. So the guy doesn't need for anything, but I really wanted to get him something. And I was telling my husband, I was like, I'm lost. I don't know what we should get. So when he came home yesterday and I showed him that me and Kaden made that for him, he goes, oh my gosh. He goes, that is probably the most perfect thing that you guys could have done for him. And I was like, okay, good, because it is what it is. So, all right, I think I'm going to put this on here. And then I'm going to put a little bow. Should I do the pale papaya, or should I stick with the pink? No, I'm going to do pale papaya. Decisions, I tell you. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to use my bow maker here and move this over because I want a small bow, because we're going to put this on here, but I do want a small bow. I probably should have done gold ribbon, but I didn't, so it is what it is. Okay, so how I hold my ribbon on like this is I just use tape, because it's gonna get stuck down. Nobody is gonna know, and nobody needs to know. I mean, you guys can know because you guys are gonna be making these cards for people, but all right. So I'm gonna take that, put it across, bring this down. I think that bow's gonna be too small. So let me go back to the original that I had this at. Oh my goodness, and of course I lose it. All right, let me cut some of this off of here, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it like that, because my fingers are just fimbly, and I have such an issue with making bows. As you all know, I am not a good bow maker. Even when I have a bow maker, I still am so just uncoordinated with things. See, like that. I can't even get it pushed through the dang hole right there. Well, we almost got it. Ah, keep our fingers crossed that I don't lose it off of here. Yes, me and bows are not friends. I tell you what, I have such a struggle. Sometimes it works beautifully and I just have to go, phew. But you know what? Not every time is meant to be a perfect bow time. So you take the good and you take the bad. And I think that's a song from some kind of TV show. You take the good, you take the bad, something. Oh, the facts of life. Haha. Yes, I remembered. I just totally aged myself, but that's okay. All right, there's my bow. I use the take a pic tool on my bows. Oh, to push the little ends through? Well, hot dog. See there, Mamacita, you teach me something every day. Okay, oh, there it is. All right, let's get this up. And what are we doing on time here? Because I think we've probably went past our, oh no, it's only 7:30. I thought for sure it was looking closer to 8 o'clock. Starting to stress. Starting to sweat. I was starting to have dang hot flash because, of course, when I start thinking things are going wrong, So yeah, I think Caden was happy today. We got her out of the house for a little bit and we went over and, like I said, drove into town and got Charlie a birthday present. So she was happy to get out of the house and kind of help take part on picking out his birthday present. Okay, and then I'm just going to put that bow right there. Okay? Very simple. Voila. Okay, now I need one of my glue. Where are my glue dots? Oh, that's the other day since I have a in-person class coming up on the 10th, I've been putting together, you know, those big poster boards that you use back in school during science class. I got the black one that has the 2 folding sides to it. And then I bought some mini clothespins. And so I've been like making myself nuts putting these clothespins on there. And because I am me, I have been trying to get these darn things to be so perfectly uniformed on here and making sure that like my middle part of the flap, the center part is for all my cards that sit portrait style. And then on my 2 end pieces, are you almost done? Yes, I'll be there in just a minute. I'm almost done. My 2 end flaps can hold 2 of my landscape cards. So in other words, like that, 2 landscape cards perfectly on there like that. So when those open up. So I have been, you know, the other night I'm measuring everything and I'm like, fine, you know what? No more measuring. I just have to put the stupid things on. I was like, I'm going to make myself crazy. This is not cool. And then I start sweating because then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just getting, you know, too frantic about this. And they're just clothespins and it's just to display cards. Why do I have to be such a freak? Because it's just who I am. It's just me. Have to be so precise about everything. But you know what? There's some things in life you just got to learn to just get rid of that headache. Okay, so there are our 3 cards. So I hope you guys play with this and make some of these because I would really love to see what you guys come up with because it is truly fun making these cards. And as you can see, it's really rather simple. Just make sure that you're in a well-ventilated room when it comes to using the alcohol. And the other thing to do is make sure that you are using, where did I put that? Oh, make sure you're using the highest percentage that you can on your rubbing alcohol because it just works so much better on your cards. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Thank you so much for coming and spending your evening with me. Don't forget, this is the host code, the current host code for June. And we have our incentive gift that I showed in the beginning, and now I don't even know where the heck I put it. Oh, right here. These little notebook holders. So those are, if you spend over $75 in my store, I will send you one of those. So you guys have a great week. I have a lot to catch up on this week. Make sure I get everything together for our vacation and then our hospital stay after, because we won't have much time to come home and do laundry and then get back out the door for that following week to be gone. So, and then I have to get everything together for my Thursday stamp class that we're having live. So you guys have a great weekend, a great week, and post those cards that you make, because I know you guys are going to come up with some wonderful ideas. So you guys have a good week. See you guys next week on here. Again, Mondays, Fundays. Have a good week, you guys. Bye.